Yes, hello tradies. It is Just Quickly time, brought to you by 7-Eleven's Food on the Go lunchtime offers. Mitchell, we have a breakaway pod for Just Quickly.
And it's never been easier to send a Just Quickly in. Go to our Instagram page at Tradies Podcast. It's literally one click.
Yep.
Or in the show notes, wherever you get your podcasts from.
I like it. Let's start with James.
G'day, boys. Long time listener, first time caller. I was just wondering, will this be the year that the AFL finally changes the free agency compensation? We talk about it every year when it comes along and some player leaves and there's a ridiculous first round pick handed out. Surely this is the year they could change it. I don't know how. Maybe if they did that, the compensation pick being 5 or 10 picks after the club's first pick instead of being one pick after it. I don't know what they would do, but I reckon it's got to change. Anyway, thanks, lads. Love your work. Great stuff.
No, Just Quickly, but we'll let it pass for the first episode back.
Scotty's got to be onto these.
I'm with James. I like the thought of having it protected the first 5 or 10 picks in the draft. So, for example, Ben Mackay, rather than North Melbourne getting pick 3.
Your man, Ben Mackay.
Maybe that could have been pick 11 or 12. Maybe make it the first 10 picks be protected. And all the teams that miss out on the finals have a clean first 10, apart from maybe Academy and Father Sons.
What did North get for Ben Mackay?
Pick 3 or 4?
And what would he be worth right now?
Pick 24.
I had 25 in my head. That is amazing.
Wow.
We're on the same page.
That's a concern.
Thank you, James. Charlie, you're next.
G'day, Sam. G'day, Mitch. Just quickly, what round do we start hearing the rumours about Joe Daniher coming out of retirement for the mid-season draft? Are we thinking before Easter? Are we thinking closer to round 10? Let's be real. If Brisbane are half a sniff of winning a premiership, do we really think that Joe Daniher wouldn't consider coming back for half a season? Couldn't he be talked into it just for one last tilt of the flag? Anyway, boys, keep up the good work. Cheers.
It's funny, I was in Wangaratta on the weekend.
You were in Wangaratta.
I was hosting a function.
A little sheets offering.
And it was the story was told to me there. I think, someone has a connection to Joe at Wangaratta Rovers. And it was like, come play a game for us, maybe. And I think the conversation went something along the lines of, I just walked away from $1 million at AFL level. Do you think I'm coming to Wang to play one game for $2,000? So in answer to your question, Charlie, I think Joe would be the least likely person to be talked back into retirement.
And they can't even get him at the flag unfurling for what is meant to be
That is amazing.
Thursday night. Maybe Joe knew all along the cyclone was coming and he's just going to push it back a couple of weeks.
Smart. Thanks, Charlie. Dennis.
G'day, boys. Currently just enjoying one of Mitch's favourites, egg and lettuce sandwich from our good friends at 7-Eleven. Big shout out to 7-Eleven. Just quickly, do we underrate the results of pre-season? Everyone brushes them off, but just going through last year's numbers, 2024 pre-season, 7 out of the 9 clubs that won their games in pre-season finished above the club that they were playing, the exceptions of Melbourne, Carlton, Bulldogs and Hawks. We know that back end of Melbourne season went downhill and obviously the Hawks surged. So a couple of anomalies. So question to you boys, do we underrate the results of the preseason? Should we be looking into them more? Thanks, boys.
It's a good question. I reckon it's a question being thrown around every pub conversation right now.
Yeah. I think for me, preseason is always about context. So like I talked about, North Melbourne against West Coast, I take quite a lot out of that because West Coast are awful and North Melbourne should be better and they played a decent side.
Yeah.
Whereas you look at, did I pay that much attention when Collingwood, Brisbane and Gold Coast played a 3-way round robin? Not really.
Yeah. And I always take more out of it for the team that is coming off a poor year. It means more to them.
More to them, yeah.
For Essendon and Geelong, for example, at GMHBA, that meant more to Essendon than it did to Geelong.
Definitely.
Geelong were going through the motions. They had opening round that I guess Essendon did too. But, yeah, I just – for me, it's more about players and roles and where clubs are going to slot their blokes in rather than the actual result. But I do respect the research from last year.
Okay, I think we've got a duel just quickly here, Scotty. Yeah. Okay, this might be a first on tradies. Luke and Lottie.
G'day, boys. Just quickly, I'm over in the postnatal ward at the Ashford Hospital in Adelaide with my 3-day-old daughter, Lottie, having some skin-to-skin at the moment and listening to a season preview episode.
Oh.
And I was just wondering, I am a long-suffering Essendon supporter, and I was hoping that Lottie doesn't suffer the same ill fate. Who would you suggest she follow over the next 10 to 15 years if you're looking at a stable, reliable, successful, joy-filled experience as a supporter? Thanks, boys.
He's come to us for that question.
It's amazing, and congratulations, Luke, on the birth of Lottie. I hope that she's doing well. So I'm actually going through a similar thing right now. Hang on, makes me sound like I had a child.
You didn't tell us?
Yeah. My niece Florence, so my sister's daughter, is 2.5, and my sister is a Carlton supporter, and my brother-in-law Mike is an Essendon supporter. And so they're kind of like fighting for which team she should go for. And I've sort of made the joke being like, well, I don't think she should go for either. I think it's tantamount to torture to let her go for either club, right? So I have been thinking, is there another team that I would recommend Florence Barrick for? Now, Luke is asking Mitch, is there a team that you'd recommend Lottie Barrick for if he doesn't want to put her through the pain of being an Essendon supporter?
Well, just thinking, I'll make my case for Geelong.
No.
They won the flag in 2007. They've missed finals twice since then, so pretty good strike rate.
Outside of Geelong.
Hawthorn, I shouldn't be saying this as a born Geelong fan, but Hawthorn have won a flag every decade for the last
nice time to get on
4 or 5 decades, maybe longer. Good time. Just on that, I got a mate, Toby. He's a Dogs fan. His wife, Ange, is a Cats fan. They had a situation where the first time the Cats and the Dogs played after the birth of their first child,
yes,
the winner of that game is who the kid is going to support.
Oh, I like it.
So maybe, Luke, if your other half is supporting another team, maybe that's something you can consider.
Maybe just jump on the Suns. Jump on the Suns.
Good excuse to get a holiday.
Yeah, a couple of home games up on the Gold Coast. Yeah.
Tassie is coming in.
Yeah, I mean, you could go for Tassie and then wonder if your team's ever going to play. Thank you, Luke and Lottie. Toby.
Yeah, g'day, fellas. Just quickly, just been looking over Essendon's list, and I'm starting to wonder, do they have a tall problem? With Sam Draper followed up with Nick Bryan, Todd Goldstein, Peter Wright, even Harrison Jones. Like, I'm just starting to think, is Essendon too tall? Is that where some of their issues are lying? Love to hear your thoughts. Thanks, boys.
Are they too tall, Mitch?
That is an interesting point. They've moved Harry Jones to the wing, and Brad Scott has said this summer that we can't ever be seen as too tall. We just got to be too, I think, athletic, or the word he used. So, yeah, I don't mind that theory. They just need some good talls, don't they? I think their front half is lacking good quality talls.
Thank you, Toby. And last but not least is Advi.
G'day, fellas. Just quickly, something that's come up a lot in past episodes is a dialogue, something like this, where Sam will ask the question, is player X, e.g. Ben Mackay, worth $1 million a season? And then Mitch will make the argument that, well, if he's in the best 60 players in the competition, then with the salary cap increases, he then deserves to be on $1 million a season. So what I'm really craving is a white-collar version of Mitch's Men, which is who are the 60 players in the competition that Mitcho believes deserve to be on $1 million a season in 2027. Cheers.
Not another list.
Don't mind that. Give me a few weeks. I've got a bit of travelling over the next couple of weeks. So
you're going to put together 60?
While I'm on the plane, I can work through that. Also,
we need to put the A-graders up.
Yeah.
I just realised that.
And Mitch's Men.
Yeah, Mitch's Men.
The blue-collar Mitch's Men.
The blue-collar Mitch's Men and the white-collar. I like it. Hey, thank you so much for the first episode of Just Quickly. We're here for 7-Eleven's food on the go lunchtime offers. Nice to see one of our Just Quicklies sneaking in the sponsor as well. Enjoy the week. We'll see you next week.